Hello and welcome to the first lecture of section 3. In this lecture we will learn about EC2. So it's basically about EC2 Basics, and that consists of what is EC2, why EC2, benefits of EC2. So what is EC2? EC2 in plain English can be defined as a virtual server. Amazon calls this virtual server as EC2 instance. Okay, why do we call this server as virtual? It's simply because the physical location of this server is not at all important for you or for anyone. It is there somewhere on a physical machine, or sometimes we call it a host, but it may be available somewhere else on another physical host in case you stop and start it again. This was a disruptive change from traditional services because now your application is not at all physically and tightly coupled with a single server in a rack. But in cloud, the applications are loosely coupled with the virtual server. That is, one server goes down, the environment can heal up by launching another healthy server on a healthy physical host. So cloud is basically designed for failure and self-healing. So this was all about virtual server. Now, when was EC2 launched? It was launched in 2006. So you can say EC2 service is as old as AWS itself. Amazon EC2 forms the core of AWS cloud computing platform. It allows users to rent virtual machines where they can run their own applications. You can launch an EC2 instance from predefined templates. They are called AMIs, or Amazon Machine Images, offered by Amazon or third-party vendors. You can launch your EC2 instance in a region of your choice based on the geolocation of your target audience. It means the geographical proximity of the instance should be considered, because that's how your latency will be optimized. Why EC2? So in maybe you can say till almost 10 years back, before the cloud era, if you wanted to move your application to production server for a global audience, you had to face many challenges. You need to invest a huge amount of money in one go, what we call as CapEx, or capital expenditure. The procurement cycle was tedious, starting from quotation, purchase orders, deliveries, racks, networks, etc. etc. The list is endless. Based on requirement, it could take a few weeks to a few months. Then comes the maintenance. No need to say, it was indeed a huge nightmare. Also, resizing of the server was a big headache. Once your business is growing, you need to go through the same procurement cycle again. If your business is not doing well, and if you wish to size down, there was no way to size up or size down in the traditional setup. Security. Infrastructure security was quite expensive. All the alarms, security stuffs around, it was quite expensive as well as sophisticated. I mean complex. Performance. In a traditional setup, once the hardware becomes outdated, the performance degrades. Server latency. If your app was hosted in Europe and your customers are from North America, they are bound to have an awful experience. So let us see a comparison of pre-cloud era with the cloud era. This slide will sum up why we needed EC2 as first place. So in terms of expenditure, pre-cloud, huge one-time capital expenditure. In cloud, it's a small monthly operational expenditure. what we call it as subscription. It can be monthly subscription, sometimes it can be yearly as well. Procurement cycle. In pre-cloud it was starting from a few weeks to a few months. In cloud it's within a few minutes. Maintenance was a nightmare in pre-cloud. In cloud, infrastructure and network maintenance is taken care of by the cloud provider, in this case AWS. Size up or size down, that is resizing. It could take a few weeks to a few months in pre-cloud. In cloud, it can be done within a few minutes, with the help of a few clicks. Security in pre-cloud was a nightmare. In cloud, you can experience state-of-the-art infrastructure security. Performance. Pre-cloud may be using outdated hardware. In cloud, it's most of the times new generation fast compute hardware. Geographical spread, and this is important for latency. Pre-cloud was restricted to a single or maybe one or two locations. In cloud, it's global, across many countries. As of today, AWS had 18 regions with 55 availability zones. So let us see what are the benefits of EC2, concrete benefits of EC2. So the first one could be on-demand instant server. Yes, instant is the key over here. You can spin up a server within minutes. Scale up or scale down capacity based on your requirement. Highly reliable, designed for 4 nines of availability. Highly secured. No long-term commitments or upfront payments. It's pay as you go. Cloud is, or EC2 is inexpensive if we compare it with traditional setup. Amazon EC2 passes on to you the financial benefits of Amazon's global scale. You pay a very low rate for the compute capacity you actually consume. Per second billing. Effective October 2017, EC2 Linux instances are billed in 1 second increment with a minimum of 60 seconds. Windows instances are billed on hourly basis, may change soon. Thank you. Take a break, stretch yourself, grab a coffee and get charged for the next lecture.